My name is Eliza, and for the longest time, I thought surviving my family was just a part of life. I never thought of myself as strong. I just thought I was enduring. Enduring my mother's manipulation, my sister's cruelty, and the constant ache in my chest that told me this wasn't what love was supposed to feel like. But this is the story of how I broke free. It's long, it's raw, and it's mine. It all started with a single decision, a decision that should have been normal. I told my mother I wanted to move out to attend college. That's when the meltdown began. She started bawling like someone had died, screaming at me that I didn't love her, that I was abandoning her after everything she had done for me. I stood frozen in the hallway, her cries echoing through the walls of our small, suffocating house. Then, my sister, Jordan, walked in. She didn't ask me why I wanted to leave. She didn't care about my dreams or my sanity. She just saw my mother crying and, with a sneer, pulled out her phone. Minutes later, I received a DM. "You dumb bitch, I hate you, you're trash. I'm glad you were robbed. No one loves you and no one ever will. How dare you make mom upset after all she's done for you? You're never going to be anything. I know you've thought about offing yourself. Why don't you actually go do it? No one would care. Your boyfriend dumped you last year? That says everything. I hope you get raped again. But maybe I shouldn't say that before you call the cops like you used to when we were kids." I stared at my phone in disbelief. My breath caught in my throat. My body shook. And when I couldn't hold back the tears, my mother looked at me and laughed. "Jordan is hilarious," she said, as though cruelty was comedy. I was broken, but I wasn't numb. Not yet. I went back to my room and locked the door. I sat on my bed staring at the wall, the shadows in the corners growing deeper with every hour. I knew I had to leave. I couldn't survive this house. Not emotionally, not spiritually. I was crumbling. I began packing. Not much, just what I needed. Clothes, my laptop, a few books, and the cash I'd been secretly saving from my part-time job. It wasn't much, $300 at most, but it felt like gold in my hands. But I needed more than things. I needed evidence. I pulled up every hateful message Jordan had ever sent me and took screenshots. Her words, vile, dehumanizing, would speak for themselves. I stored them in a hidden folder and backed them up to my email. I didn't know where I'd go, but I knew I'd need proof of why I ran. And then the doorknob turned. "Open this door!" My mom's voice was sharp, almost feral. I panicked. I'd forgotten to unlock it after grabbing more clothes. When I opened the door, she stormed in. Her eyes scanned the packed bag. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" she spat. "I'm just packing for school," I said weakly. "Liar," she snarled. "You think you're smart? Think you can run off to your little fantasy life? You're going nowhere. You belong here." "I'm not leaving now," I lied, forcing a smile that felt like broken glass on my lips. She stared at me. My heart pounded. Finally, she sneered and turned away. That night, I didn't sleep. I waited. At 2:17 a.m., the house was silent. I grabbed my backpack, my heart thudding in my chest like a drumline. I crept down the hallway, each step feeling like it echoed into forever. My hand reached the doorknob. Click. I turned it slowly. Then I heard her. "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" My mother stood in the dark, eyes wild. She lunged. A vase flew past my head and shattered against the wall. Shards flew everywhere. She screamed, words that weren't words, just hate and spit and rage. She threatened to kill me. She meant it. I ran. An acquaintance had told me about a domestic violence shelter nearby. That's where I ran to. When I arrived, I was a mess, unkempt, trembling, smelling like fear and sweat. But they let me in. The shelter saved me. The staff was kind. The rooms were clean. I had a bed, a door that locked, and no one screaming at me in the middle of the night. For the first time in years, I slept without fear. But the stay was limited, 30 days. I applied for a job at a local cinema. I decided to tell the truth in the interview. I explained I was living at a shelter, that I needed a second chance. They gave it to me. The other women in the shelter were older than me, but they took me under their wings. They helped me with makeup for interviews, gave me advice, even cooked with me. We took turns cleaning and cooking, and slowly my confidence returned. A church group donated handmade quilts to us. I still have mine. When I hold it, I remember that night I ran and how I didn't give up. Eventually, a friend's parents who had once backed out of housing me changed their minds. They said I could stay with them after my shelter time was up.
All I had to do was buy my own ticket.
I cried that night. For the first time, they were tears of hope. After the shelter, I worked at the cinema for a short while before landing a better job. More hours, more pay. I found a room to rent. My roommate was a trucker, never home. We communicated through sticky notes and texts. It was strange, but peaceful. Then I re-enrolled in college. Not the same one. I needed a fresh start. I applied to a university my mother didn't know about. In my application essay, I wrote my truth. I told them how I survived. They accepted me. I graduated this year. Not only that, I fell in love. Real love. The kind that doesn't hurt. My fiancé treats me like I matter. His family calls me their daughter. His mother once sat by my side when I had food poisoning, whispering soft words, while my fiancé made soup at 2 a.m. No screaming, no threats, just love. I learned to take care of myself. I buy myself flowers every Friday. I give myself rest when I'm sick. I set boundaries. I don't apologize for needing space. I don't let anyone decide my worth. Jordan was wrong. I am something. I am everything I was told I'd never be. To the girl who sat trembling in her locked bedroom, believing no one would ever love her, you were wrong. Not because you were broken, but because the people who told you that were. You are worthy, you are powerful, and you made it out. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my story. If you've ever felt trapped in a toxic situation, please know you are not alone, and there is a way out. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Did this story resonate with you? Have you experienced anything similar? If you found value in this video, please like it and subscribe to Kindle Stories for more powerful, real-life narratives just like this one. Your support helps us keep telling stories that matter. Until next time, take care of yourself. Narrated by Eliza for Kindle Stories.